Hello everyone, Albus Simpson here as always. Um, Today I will be doing an album review, and the album in question, as you have read the title of the video, is Egypt Station. The title of the album is Egypt Station, and it's by Paul McCartney. And here I hold a copy of the said album. However, this is the Explorers Edition. Um, which is it was released in May, the Explorers Edition. However, the original version, which I don't hold here, however I do have it. This is the Target exclusive. Was this was also released with the original version 1 year ago today, today. So that's why I'm making this video today, a whole year after. And I did technically make a review of this, but it was on Gregatron's channel, and it was kind of like a first impressions type of video thing, and it wasn't exactly like a full-on review like I will be doing in this video, where I'm going to rank all the songs. And also, this is pretty much the final version, I think, of the album, so it's, I did kind of wait for everything to be released that Paul was going to put on the album. And I must say, I do very much love this album. It is the first new Paul McCartney album that I've ever bought. Like, it was the first album that when it was first released I bought. So it's going to be really special for me in the future, definitely. And I got this the day after it was released because I went to a Target and they didn't have it in stock, but I'm pretty sure the guy just didn't want to check. But whatever, it was a whole year ago. I very much remember the experience. It was a nice day. And yeah, it's a nice album. I don't listen to it too much, but I mean, when I do, I still think it's a pretty great album. It's not his best, obviously. There are much better, but I mean, still, it is a very quality album. Some tracks are here and there, but some tracks are honestly masterpieces from 2018. So, yeah, like I said, this is the Target exclusive. It had 2 extra songs on it. I mean, it still does. I have about 4 copies of this album. And yeah, there was some complaints about Paul releasing so many copies, and I do understand that. But it's mainly capital, and them just wanting to make money, and it did make a lot of money. In fact, it was his first #1 album in like 30 years. So yeah, it's a big accomplishment. Anyway, I'm not gonna take too long on this, so I want to get straight into the ranking of this pretty great album. This is on vinyl, by the way. Really cool stuff. And I want to get straight into the ranking. I'm not going to be including opening station or station 2 because they are instrumentals and they're just starting and ending the album. But if I were to rank them, it would just be station 2 and then opening station. So let's start off with number 19. And my least favorite song on this album is the classic controversial track, Get Enough. Not as controversial as the other track that I will be getting into. However, Get Enough is my least favorite song on this Explorers Edition. Because this song, I don't dislike it. I will say. I'm kind of in the minority of people when it comes to reviewing this song. I don't think it's a bad song. I mean, I'm sure that this is like some bottom tier Paul McCartney stuff. I mean, I'd rather listen to Driving Rain, which I do think is a very good album, compared rather than this song. I mean, Get Enough it's weird. It's very choppy, which I do like. I like songs that are like kind of cut up, but there are some editing problems in this song that are just really weird, and it's a very modern song for Paul to do. I mean, definitely not that great of a song. It's just, yeah, it's a weird song. I remember when it came out on New Year's Day, and everybody was kind of shocked. But I'm fine with it. There's no harm done really, in my opinion. And then number 18 is probably the most controversial song um, on this album. Definitely one of the most controversial Paul McCartney songs. Um, For You. It's I have to adjust this. Sorry, little. Okay, better. For You is a song that I'm personally okay with once again, but thousands of people weren't. They thought Paul was saying a different word than fa, and I can understand that. I can definitely understand it. It sounds like he's saying he wants to uh, that word someone, and I mean for a 75-year-old man to say that is pretty bold, you know, and I can totally see the shock and upset, but I mean people just took it way too far. They really thought that Paul was saying it, but he definitely isn't. Like I mean, it's it's intentional and it's unintentional, and it's 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 controversial, I guess, and with controversial stuff, it gets a lot of dislikes, and but I think that it has some good parts in it. I must say, there's like this one piece of orchestra thing in it that it goes into. It's like dun 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 dun, and I actually like that. I listen to the song only pretty much for that, even though it's a short period of time. Uh, but I do I it's a weird song, but I do enjoy it sometimes. And number 17 is Back in Brazil. Back in Brazil is it's okay in my opinion. I think the instrumental parts once again are the best parts of the song. The lyrics I think are pretty generic, like really generic. I think it's just kind of trying to be a modern song when it shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be, you know, and the lyrics are just stuff you'd hear from like very generic artists. It's it has some good parts. Like I said, the instrumental is pretty great, but that's about it. The lyrics I'm not a fan of. I don't know. It's just it could have been so easily replaced by a song from the Explorers edition. Um, Number 16. I know this is pretty controversial, especially with Gregatron, since he called it his favorite track off of Egypt Station. But number 16 is Do It Now. Now, I do like parts of the song. Once again, the message I think is really great. You know, do it now rather than waiting and for it to not happen. I think that's a good message, and it came from his dad, which I really like. You know, that's the same thing that happened with Put It There. It was basically a message from Jim to Paul saying, you know, put it there, and then you know, do it now. So it's really great that he's still making this type of song. But I will say his vocals, uh, they're okay. I think they're pretty great for a 75-year-old, but still like, you know, it's I don't know. It sounds like he's about to cry, but I'm not trying to, you know, bash on his vocals or anything. I don't think that's really something to be fair about because you know he's 75, and the fact that he's still making music is pretty insane. Well, he was 75. He's 77 now. But Do It Now, like I said, great message. Okay, song. Number 15 is Hand in Hand. Now, I do really, really like this song. I think it's actually a great song, but it does not belong on this album. It doesn't belong on this album at all. I don't, other than the other than that part, it doesn't really feel like an Egypt Station song. It doesn't have the feel of an Egypt Station song, which is something that I'll get into later. But it feels like a song from an album that's like a mix of Kisses on the Bottom and a mix of Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. It doesn't feel like an Egypt Station song. It's so forgettable, especially on this album. But it just doesn't belong here. If it was put on like new, then I probably would have liked it more. But I do like it. I think it's a fine song, but it doesn't belong on this album. Pretty much at all, honestly. Number 14 is a song that I used to like a lot, but now I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's called Caesar Rock. When I first heard of the title, Caesar Rock, I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool, you know? I mean, man, it's gonna be about Caesar Rock. Yeah, cool stuff. And then I listened to the song and I was like, Caesar Rock? What? That's not what I wanted. And you know, I cried so much after hearing it for the first time. I mean, I didn't know how to feel. But I got over it very quickly, and I realized it's actually a really great song. And it was one of my favorite songs on the album. After like the second listen, and yeah, I mean, I thought it was really great, but now I'm like, well, it's not. It's just, you know, messing around in the studio. It's nice, but it's okay. Number 13 is Happy with You. Happy with You. It has a better message than the song is. I think you know the message of yeah. Well, Paul starts off with saying, "I sat around all day. I used to get stoned." Like I think that's pretty brave of him, you know, to say stuff like that he got over being stoned and being drunk. I think that's really important and not something that enough people do nowadays. But it's it's a really great message, and he really does come out with some truth, and I like how, you know, he's not afraid to say some stuff, but it goes on a bit too long, but it still is a really great song, and the guitar in this song is really amazing. Number 12 is Who Cares? Who Cares? Once again, it has a great message. But I mean, after a while of listening to it, you know, it gets okay. Um, but still, it's a great song about bullying and all of that stuff. And you know, there's that iconic music video. That's pretty cool. And I keep saying but yeah, it's a great song, great guitar, cool stuff, cool vocals, cool message. I like it a lot. Number 11 is People Want Peace. Now this song, it takes me back to September 2018 when this album was first released. It really does, for some reason, and it's very cool. It has a great message that I think is really important nowadays. You know, people do want peace quite a bit, and something that doesn't really happen nowadays. Peace. And the reason why this is so high on my list, well, I mean, it's not that high, but anyway, the reason why it's pretty high on my list is because this beautiful part, whereas it's not even the lyrics, but it's the instrumental and the vocal change, where he's like, nothing in life. There's a really cool part in the song that I really love, and it changes the song amazingly. And if there's a genre of song like that, I'd love to hear it, and I'd love to become a fan of it. And also, there's a part in the beginning, kind of, that's like the background instruments where it's like some sort of keyboard thing. But I very much like that song because of that stuff. And number 10 is Confidant. The lyrics are amazing. It's about his guitar. how he doesn't really play it anymore. And it's very clever. You know, he doesn't just start saying, "I don't play my guitar anymore." Nothing like that. But still, it's it's very clever. Although a bit ironic because the main instrument in the song is an acoustic guitar. Um, but I guess maybe that's the point. So really cool song. I would never be able to make it. Number 9 is a song from the Explorers Edition, first in a while. Number 9 is Nothing for Free. I very much like this song. It feels like whenever I listen to this song, I'm walking into Target, I'm walking into the electronic section, I'm going to buy a Blu-ray, and I hear the song like on the TVs that, you know, and it's like, I don't know, it just gives me that type of feeling. It's a very cool song, very modern, and in a good way. You know, unlike Fuck You and Get Enough, where it just goes straight 2018 song. This is a modern song, but it's very well crafted. I like his vocals a lot, and the production on that. The instrument, the bass is amazing in this song. And it can go on for a little too long, but still, really cool. The lyrics make no sense at all. It doesn't really feel like it's getting to anything, but I still do like the song a lot. Number 8 is another song from the Explorers Edition part, and it's called Get Started. Get Started is a pretty great song. The guitar work is phenomenal. This was a part of the Target exclusive once again, as Nothing for Free was too, and it's really cool. It's a I don't know how to describe it, but it's a cool song. He kind of like repeats the lyrics a lot, but still it's very catchy. Um, yeah, very catchy to me, and I like it quite a bit, quite a few. And number 7 is once again from the Explorers Edition part, and this song is called Frank Sinatra's Party, possibly the most famous other than Get Enough on the Explorers Edition side of it. And Frank Sinatra's Party is a really fun song. I love listening to it. It's very catchy, very, very catchy. The instrumental is really cool. It's I don't know. I hear people saying that it has like some kind of reggae thing to it. I don't really hear that much, but I can understand where they're coming from. It's a very cool song, very fun. The lyrics are great, catchy once again. Yeah, very fun stuff. Number 6 is Despite Repeated Warnings. Not as fun, I must say, because it's about climate change and all of that stuff, but I totally agree with everything that Paul's saying. I mean, I think that, you know, stuff like climate change and leaders not really caring that much about it and thinking that it's all false, I think is really important. It's a really important thing to think about, and I'm pretty sure he got the inspiration from a newspaper he read that said, like, despite repeated warnings, some guy, the leader of like China, is not listening to climate change stuff, and I think that's really cool that he was able to make a great song about it. It's like 6 minutes long, but it still has a great transition in it that keeps the originality and keeps it going and keeps you entertained, and it's a great sound to it. Really, really fun song and depressing too. But if you were also to compare it to the U.S. president, I think that also applies there too, very well. And I don't think it's a nasty song like some people will say. I think it's a really great song. I think it's a really cool song to do. And yeah, I very much love it. Number 5 is Dominoes. Domino's is a pizza restaurant, and it's also a game, and it's also a song on Egypt Station. And this song is very very original, very creative. I could never make a song like this. The instrumental is great. The vocals are great. When I first heard it, I was like, okay, that's fine. And then after hearing it so many more times, I really, really come to like it. And yeah, I like it so much now. Yeah, like I said, the lyrics are very original, very, very original. I can never, ever write a song like that. I mean, it makes no sense, but it's so cool and so creative. Wow, I'm really holding it like that. Number 4 is yeah, it's the most famous song off of this album. It's "Come On to Me." It was played on the radio actually quite a bit. I was in my local mall and I heard it on the the system thing. Um, and it's a very famous song now. I mean, not very famous, but it's pretty famous. Um, I know people that have heard it too, and and this was pretty much played in every promotional video for this album. You know, this song basically became uh, the song of Paul McCartney's summer of 2018 type of thing. You know, I mean, Egypt Station pretty much dominated that summer, and you know the promotion for it was excellent, and this was definitely a part of it. I think it's a really great song. I think it's very catchy. Um, the lyrics are okay. They're fine. You know, they're not the best on the album, but I still think that most of the song is really great. I think the instruments parts, the guitar is really amazing, really catchy. The drums are actually really great too. Um, and yeah, I really do love it. It's not like deep or anything like that, but it's still really cool. It's still really fun. All that type of stuff. Oh wow, the light's getting brighter. I like that. Um, anyway, number 3 is a song that I'm a big fan of. Oh, well, it got dark. It's called "Hunt You Down" slash "Naked" slash "Sea-Link." I love this song very much. I think it's very creative. "Hunt You Down." Well, I guess I gotta go in parts, you know. So "Hunt You Down" is when I first heard it, I was like, oh, it's okay, you know. And this is well, before I get into the rest of the song, this is basically the ending to the original album, not the Target exclusive, not the Explorers edition, but the original album, which I don't have on me, but it's right there. Um, it's the original ending, and it's good as an ending, I will say. But I can't imagine this album without the Target exclusive tracks. Anyway, "Hunt You Down" is a rock song. It's really cool. The great guitar parts, pretty great vocals, really great lyrics too. And um, yeah, it's cool. And then it goes into "Naked," which is my favorite part of this 3-part song. It's the lyrics are so original, so creative. Once again, I could never make a song like this. The piano part is honestly amazing. Um, the vocals are pretty great. Everything about it is great. And then it goes into "Sea-Link," which is a completely instrumental song, other than the cheer at the end. Um, and this is a really great. I honestly very much love "Sea-Link." It's a really great instrumental. Paul has made so many great instrumentals over the years, and this is definitely one of them. It's a great guitar thing, and then it has like this cool orchestra part that's in like a few of the songs on this album. It's really beautiful. It's like it's so amazing. I love it. And it fits so well with the song. And yeah, I mean, it's an instrumental, so I love it. Number 2, we're getting down. This is the last song on the Explorers edition. That's going to be on my ranking, and it's 62nd Street. 62nd Street is, it's extremely catchy. It's extremely good. It is so creative. The guitar in this song. Do, 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 do. Beautiful stuff. Really beautiful stuff, I must say. And I mean, there's like parts where it just goes into like this guitar part, and it's so cool. And I mean, it just shows how talented this man is at the instruments he plays. The vocals are really great too. I mean, they're very satisfying in a way. And yeah, it's a really great song, honestly, and it definitely does deserve to be number 2. And this, I mean, it deserves to be on the album too. I don't think it necessarily fits completely well on the album, so I guess I understand why it's not on it. However, I love it so much, I don't care. Yeah, the guitar is just really, really cool. I recommend listening to it. That's the number 1 song I recommend listening to on this album. And then number 1, if you haven't already known, is I Don't Know. I don't know what the best song is on this album. Actually, I do. And the number 1 song is I Don't Know. It's called I Don't Know. It's the first song, the first actual song, not the technical song. But this is a really great song. I mean, it's really kind of crazy that Paul decided to have the song start the album. Because I mean, it's a sad, it's a depressing song, and I mean, for that to start an album, that you want to make a lot of money, you know, I mean, it's kind of strange, but I really love this song. Obviously, I put it at number 1. The piano, amazing. Like the beginning, like solo thing. It's really, really cool. I mean, it's not even the best part of the song. His vocals are amazing. The drums are really great. The lyrics are so beautiful. So, like, I don't know how to describe it, but the lyrics are very, like, a brave thing to do, you know, that type of thing. They are really, really nice. Really creative, really interesting. It's like a poem, basically, but in song form, and it's such a beautiful song. And I do love it quite a bit. And I guess with that could conclude. And also, I don't know, is Paul's favorite song. So, yeah. This will conclude my Egypt Station review. If you'd like it, make sure to subscribe to Albus Simpson, as always, for more content like this. I don't know how many more album reviews I'll do. Quite a few, obviously. But this is not my favorite Paul McCartney album, obviously. I've already said that. Flaming Pies. But I still do love this. I really do. It's very special to me, once again, because this was the first new Paul McCartney album that I've ever gotten, you know, on day 1. Even though it wasn't day 1, but, you know, get the point. I very much love this album. It's gotten some mixed reviews. It's gotten some great reviews. I don't think it deserves either of them. Well, I mean, the great reviews, I guess it does deserve. But, I mean, I think that this is a very good album. Possibly in the top 10. I'm not sure. If we're talking Explorers Edition, they'll probably be in the top 10. If we're not talking Explorers Edition, we're talking just standard stuff. It'll probably go in the top 20 somewhere. Even though there's like 22. Whatever. I love this album very much. Good night.